Hey y'all, welcome to my channel. If you're new, or welcome back. Today I'm going to be talking about how you can store your preps and how to store your preps properly. So let's get right into today's video. If you're storing gas, you want to make sure that you check into an item called Stay-Bill. That is a fuel stabilizer. So pretty much it increases the longevity of your fuel. It does have a shelf life of about 5 years if you keep it unsealed, unopened. Once you open that bottle of Stay-Bill, it lasts about 2 years on the shelf. But again, that's going to give your gas or your fuel a longer shelf life. And we know that when there's anything happening, whether it's a hurricane or any kind of unpredicted storm, people are always running to the gas station and lines are wrapped around the corner. They're running out of gas, and a lot of people also take lots of gas cans trying to fill up once it is restored, and it's just a hot mess. The next tip is going to be rotate your prep. So not only does that give you a chance to get in there and see what you may need, but that also can prevent something like very catastrophic from happening to your preps. If you have cans or any damaged items that are leaking, if you have bags that have come unsealed, you don't want your whole entire pantry to become ruined by pests that have gotten in due to the damages. So make sure that you are rotating your preps. It's also a good idea to make sure that you write the best by date on the front of your can. That way when you have them stocked up, you can see exactly what the date is. And if you have the cans stacked on top of each other, you don't have to turn the can upside down and see it's clearly written across. Keep in mind that the best buy date, a lot of people say the expiration date, but like I said, I use the term and a lot of other people use the term best buy because that's what the government has to put on there. They have to give you a date as to when they think it'll be best consumed by. Now that does not mean throw your cans out as soon as that date hits. I always do the smell taste test. If you come across something that doesn't smell right or look right, has a funny taste, obviously you're going to want to throw that out. But like I said, everybody has things that they're willing to budge on. Some people will look at the best by date and say absolutely not. Some are only willing to eat past 2 years. Some are willing to eat things longer. The overall taste may change and may diminish a little bit, but like I said, in my personal opinion, I'm always gonna make sure that I taste, smell, and everything before I throw cans out. Another tip, and I actually did a little short video of this a couple of months ago. If you are storing beef, chicken, tuna, anything in cans that comes like wrapped in several cans, make sure that you are unwrapping the cans and checking each one of those individually. My tuna cans happen to have rust, and although it wasn't an issue now, it could have potentially caused an issue in my pantry. So like I said, just make sure that you're doing your due diligence and unwrapping those items. Make sure you're checking over the cans top to bottom. That way you're safe. If you're storing water bottles, water jugs, or anything, make sure that you use some kind of barrier. What I've used in the past, if you go into my older videos, I used a oh my gosh, I forgot what you call it. A pallet. I used a wood pallet to store my water on. That way I wasn't sitting it directly on the concrete in the storage area that I was sitting it in. And if you have to, just make sure you put some kind of barrier, whatever you can use to protect. If you have shelving, I know you can only put so much weight on shelving, but that protects the plastic from going on concrete floors. Then leaching can happen, and added chemicals even more so can contaminate your water. And again, make sure you're being careful if you're storing the gallon water jugs that are more similar to a milk container, because they do have the tendency to crack and split along the bottom seam. If you're storing rice, oatmeal, flour, pasta, I always like to throw those things in the freezer, and I let them stay in there longer than I should, but that is going to kill any possible weevils or any kind of eggs or any kind of critters. So you want to throw that in your freezer. Once you take them out, like I said, at least 3 to 5 days. I'd leave mine in there for multiple weeks, sometimes even a couple months, but I always bring it out, sit it on the shelf, let it come to room temp, make sure it's completely thawed out before transferring into your permanent storage, whether that's going to be used in your rotating pantry or more of the long-term pantry. The biggest thing when it comes to that is definitely just making sure that everything is completely thawed. That way you're not transferring and things have a chance to grow and become moldy and things like that. Let me know what you think about this in the comment section. I feel like climate control and where you store your preps is super important, but I also feel like everybody doesn't have the space to store where they want to. You may have to store some of your preps in the garage, and I personally feel like while that's good, it's better than not being able to store preps anywhere. I feel like that may shorten the life of cans just because the garage, even if it's insulated, it still is going to be hotter in the summertime than the rest of your house. So I just want to know your thoughts on that. I have stored things in my garage at the last place, water and certain preps like my paper towels and cleaning products. The most important thing is just to make sure that you're prepping and make sure that you have those extra items in your home. Don't stress too much on like the climate. I don't want to like harp on that so much, because sometimes you just have to store it in different places. Do the best that you can with the space that you have. If you have under bed storage, that's also a good place that you can add your preps to and store under there. If you have closet space, another closet that you're not using, you can always use that closet. Just think of places that you could store your food. Just get creative with it. Don't overthink it. I'm trying to think of other places. I don't know, y'all. If anybody has tips, make sure you drop those in the comments below. But like I said, I know under bed storage is a big one, closet storage. Definitely make sure that you are aware of where you're storing, because that temperature is going to be vital and crucial to how long that your pantry lasts. You can even use totes, because you can like stack in totes and then sit the totes away. So just really just brainstorm and sit down and think about the options, because I know a lot of times people will say, well, I only live in a 1-bedroom. That might mean that you may have to cut back on some of the clothing you have or things like that. Or even your clothing, if you're going to use your closet, you can condense that by putting it in totes. So again, be creative. I'm going to go ahead and let you guys go. Take care, stay safe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.